Yeah, I just was really excited about our Mount Sac results last weekend, and then of course at Florida, the Tom Jones Invitational. Just really put our kids in the fire a little bit, and I was just really pleased with 6 school records, some personal bests, but mainly getting to compete against some really tough competition and travel. We hadn't done that a whole lot. Learn how to travel and how to eat and how to drink and all those things when you have to travel and put in a little different situations. So really pleased with the results.
And when you have conference athletes of the week, PRs across the board, like what does that do for the whole team as far as boosting morale heading into the next meet?
It really helps when you can do that against the top teams in the nation. It just boosts confidence, which was my plan. I wanted to have good training after we came out of Texas Relays for a couple of weeks and then try to really hit it. And it's a gamble because if you don't do well, then they're like, wow, we're really behind Florida or whoever. But it worked out well, and we just had some things that even surprised me. So those are always good things.
Coach, the number sub 145. I mean, one at the fastest 800-meter time in the world. Like, what was your reaction when you guys got the news on that? Like, just from a coach's standpoint.
Well, I coach him personally, and I was timing him, and I was at the 600, and our plan was the national champion from A&M. He was going to just set on him and then just hopefully have a chance to outkick him. And I thought we could run 145, but I didn't have a clue we'd go 143. And so just incredible run. I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. And I've seen some great 800s here. Jonathan Johnson was pretty special, but that race was just exceptional. So so proud of him.
What was the conditions like when he was running?
It was about 85 to 88 degrees and no wind at all. I mean, I was dying, but it was perfect conditions. It just really warm, really hot, and I was worried about that, but we hadn't been in that type of heat. But the wind, with no wind and you're running 2 laps like that, it really makes a difference if you're not bucking that wind.
Going into this weekend, at this point in the season, what do you think as a team between the men and the women, what is y'all's strengths, so far in this outdoor season?
I think the quality that we've shown this past week is really our plus. I would like to see a little bit more of our depth kids to kind of rise. Those 8th place, 7th place, 6th place, 5th place at conference. Those are the kids that I'm really trying to keep grooming. Of course, the good ones too, but we had our top people step up this past weekend. So now we just need the whole team to kind of come together in the next 3 weeks for the Big 12.
And speaking of the Big 12, do you think your all strength of schedule with the tough competition you guys have faced between indoor and outdoor will help you guys, in order to get ready for Big 12s?
No doubt. I mean, you have to learn how to compete against people like that. I mean, you have to be put in, unbelievable situations to do that. And I think at Mount Sac and especially at Florida, that quality was just incredible. We had pros in some of the races, and to be able to compete against the best, it makes a huge difference.
We're going to Waco this week. What can we expect out of the team and even some of the competition?
Yeah, we're going to have an opportunity for some people that still, we're trying to get a better mark. We're trying to get a better national seed. We're trying to get in the top 48 for some kids to go to regionals, and then I can only take 32 men and 32 women, so we have a battle at the bottom, for those kids that are for that 28th to 32nd spot. They're all trying to improve, and as I say, this meets a little bit more about that, of the depth kids at our conference level. We're not going to take any big chances with our people that have really great marks and have already got qualified, but we have some that haven't, and so it'll be a big weekend. A little concerned about the forecast. It's supposed to be very, very windy, so it could make a difference in some of the things. I just hope some of the sprints are legal, and could be good for the discus, could be good for a lot of things, but if it's too windy, it's going to be tough.
Speaking of sprints, Terrence and Rosemary both had big runs last week.
Yeah, just incredible. Terrence's first race ever in 100 meters for us, and I don't think he's ever run one back home either. To run 10-0, ran one of the greatest runners in bowling from Georgia who won the race, but just the field was incredible to see how well he competed and to get, of course, a great regional mark out of the way and to walk away healthy. And so that was huge. And then Rosemary, 11-0, my goodness, broke school record. Just sophomore, really have high hopes for her in the future. Both those guys were sophomores. So they showed me a lot. So we've got to be careful with them because they're going to really be workhorses for us at the Big 12. We're going to probably run the 100, 200 sprint relay, 2 times, 4 times. They'll have 5 races. So we're going to be careful with them, but real pleased with both of them.
And what did you think of your sprint with your guys sprint relay?
Yeah, 38.90. I tell you what, normally when you run 38.90, you're just thrilled you can be. And a little disappointed we didn't win, but we have a couple of things we can clean up on the stick. But really, just to put that group had never run together this year, and so it was good to get it around and to run that fast. So North Carolina A&T had a better time than us, still do, but we beat them in the race. So I think we're top 2 or 3 sprint relay teams in the country right now on paper. In real honesty.
Who are you still looking to see out of maybe certain what are you trying to see maybe out of some certain people still that came up to what you expect them to do this season?
Consistency. When I'm picking the Big 12, like I say at the end, your 30th and 31, 32 to go. I'm looking at who's halfway consistent this month, who's kind of stepping up every week when we have good competition. Those are things what I'm looking for this weekend, what I'm going to look for next weekend. It's going to be the finale at home, to see who's really producing at the right time. And so keep getting better for a lot of kids, and then figure out who's ready to run for the Big 12.
It's been a blessing. I mean, we haven't had much time to touch the hammer at all this year, doing 3 different events outdoor, but to be able to go out there and pretty much take every competition as a practice, and especially with the competition as good as it was in Florida, it was a real blessing to be able to break the school record, and we're still looking for more. I think there's a lot more in the tank and the hammer, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Hammer like for weight throw?
No.
Not at all?
No, not at all. The weight throw, it's a lot more on the body. The hammer, there's things that you can get away with in the weight that you definitely cannot get away with in the hammer, and I am figuring that out meet by meet. But like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a new challenge. It's something that, I just kind of wanted to see if I'd be able to do and help out the team, and it's been working well so far. So we're just going to keep at it, and I think there's some big things to come in the next few weeks in the hammer as well.
How much then did you throw the hammer in the past?
What was that?
How much did you throw the hammer in previous years?
Never. So
Never.
Last year was my first year ever touching the hammer. I've only thrown it about 5 or 6 meets total, so yeah, really not much at all.
You just said, bigger things are to come this season. Now looking into this weekend, you have a couple personal goals that you want to set, and as a team, how excited are you to travel to, I guess, a home away from home? It's not too far away from here.
Yeah, I always love competing in Waco. Like you said, I have a lot of personal goals as well. I really want to break that 200 mark in the discus. I think that's coming really soon. Been very consistent just under that all year. The shot put, just got to keep plugging away at it as well. It's kind of hard to balance everything. Like I said before, 3 events outdoors. But like I said, I know I have the capability, and it's just a matter of figuring things out. And then once we get to that point and I feel confident, I mean, there's no telling what can happen. But speaking to our team, I mean, I've been really excited with seeing everything that our team has done. We've had some huge performances, and I feel like this is one of the closest teams that I've personally been a part of. Everybody supports each other, is cheering for each other, and it's I mean, when you have that atmosphere, it's impossible not to do great things. It really is. I mean, we just we see somebody do something, it's okay, now it's my turn, and then that same person's cheering us on. It's contagious, and I mean, that's what we need.
And with you all traveling everywhere between indoor and outdoor, that strength of schedule, do you think that really is going to help you all prepare for Big 12, which is here?
Oh, 100%, and especially that's why I particularly like Florida, because a lot of those people we're competing against are some of the biggest guys in the East, so obviously we're not going to see them until nationals, but to be able to go there and know that you have to come with it, regionals you get 3 throws, you get 3 attempts, so it's you have to come with it early, and it's kind of the same thing. If you want to make the finals, you have to come with it early, so if things don't go right, what are you going to do? Are you just going to say, okay, this is a wash, we'll just take it, go with the motions, or are you going to go out there and compete? And I feel like it forces you to compete, and that's what I love. I love competing. It was a lot of fun.
What was it like for you just making that trip to Florida? Wes said it's the first time he had ever taken a team to Florida. What was it like, I don't know, conditions or just seeing another part of the country?
It was long. It was a really long trip. It's probably the longest trip that I've been on since I've been here. So I'm from Houston, so I'd like to say that I'm used to the humidity and the heat, but I've been here for quite some time now, and it was different. We got there, and it felt like you were sweating the second you got off the plane. You go out there to practice, and it's like the throws aren't going as far as you think they should. And it's just like, what's going on? The air is thicker, and then not to mention the time difference as well. So it's a lot of different factors, but I think obviously being young and then the excitement of being able to go to a new place and knowing that you have a big competition ahead of you kind of compensates for it in a sense.
You said you enjoyed making the trip to Waco. Is there anything specific about the place that makes you feel a little more comfortable?
I've always thrown well there, so I'd like to keep that going if I can help it.
It's pretty humid down there too. Pretty humid in Waco. Too.
See, the weather there is fine to me. It doesn't feel bad at all. Like I can go out there. I could look. You see me jogging with the distance runners around the track with my shirt off. I'll do it. Like I'll feel perfectly fine. I love it down there. It feels great.
Coach, you mentioned that this weekend it might be a little windy. From your perspective, is there a different preparation needed in order to go against like rain, wind? I'm just kind of any specifics with that.
So I would like to tell you yes, but if Coach was standing behind me, he'd put his hand on my shoulder and be like, absolutely not. You should know what you're doing no matter what the conditions look like. And I feel like I have matured in that sense. To me, it really doesn't matter. I mean, ideally, I'd like good weather so I can get the best mark possible. But at the end of the day, if we go to NCs and it's pouring down rain, I feel like I'm just as prepared to win as I was previously. So I've matured a lot in that sense. And it's not really different preparation. You just got to be mentally ready to focus a little bit more on your technique, not worry about the distance, to go out there and win, just no matter the circumstances.
Kind of looking back on last week, whether this week, how excited are you to compete this weekend?
I'm very excited and also nervous because I'm afraid of weather, like cold weather, and I'm not sure how Bailey's gonna be. So it can be cold or it can be hot. Just like last time we went, it was warm and then out of nowhere it just started raining and then got cold. So I'm just pretty nervous, but I'm excited also.
With conditions like that, we just asked him, is there different preparation involved for you specifically if there's different windy conditions or colder weather?
Yeah, if it's too cold, my hamstrings is like, I don't know, it just gets to be tightening up and stuff. So if it's too cold, I'm not gonna perform. I would just tell Coach Rob, I can't do it.
But speaking of all the success you guys have had, you guys have been traveling everywhere between indoor and outdoor. So just what has it been the it factor for you guys this year? Because the women's team is ranked 6th in the country. So how impressive is it? What's been the it factor for you guys?
To be honest, this is the best girl team that come around. Where we're more united. People is on our team, coming together, be positive. So it's just the SAP meeting, all that. There's the good positive vibe that's coming. So this is I think is the reason why the team is coming because of this band, all that. So it's just good energy. That's what keeping us going.
And going off of that, I'm sure it helps that you guys have a clean sweep on Player of the Weeks. You guys have PRs across the board. Does that help too, as far as how you guys prepare for the next meet?
Yes, it prepared us because it's everybody's seeing everybody doing good, so that make everybody want to do good and continuously to do good. So I think that's a good thing.
Talking about doing good, you're coming off a big weekend, new school record, new PR. What were your thoughts on that?
To be honest, where I'm coming from in track is I had a long journey. I had a long major, it's been long. So for me, just getting a PR every week, it mean a lot. So it's just hard work, dedication. And then sometimes, I run, this time I will run good. Next time I don't, I run bad. But it still feels great to me every time.
She said you've had a long journey in track. Can you elaborate on that? Your background in track?
Okay, I wasn't an hurdler. Hurdling is new to me. I've been doing hurdles I think 5-6 years now. I was just a 100-meter runner and a 200-meter runner. So doing hurdles, I was scared at first. But doing this, and I was people, my past coaches told me I wasn't good enough. So it was you're not gonna make it this far. So all this bad comments and bad negativity, it just made me push myself to be better at what I'm doing right now.
So the coaches said that you weren't going to make it in the
Hurdles.
in the hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whose idea was it for you to run the hurdles?
It was my other coach back home. He told me, Demisha, I think you're good enough. I think I see you doing the hurdles. And I was like, Coach, I can't do hurdles. I don't know how to do it. He was like, I can see you, just go and practice. And then the first time I went, I was jumping hurdles. So I got better and better. So thanks to Coach Blackwell from New Mexico, he was the one prepared me. Even though it wasn't like great, but he made me who I am today. And then thanks to Coach Rob and Coach G, which is Coach Zach, that will like pushes me further to do this event.
So when you began in track, what were your main events? What did you like the most?
First, it was just the 1 and 2. I really liked the 200, but since injuries and all that has taken over my body, I just focus more on the hurdles now since I'm getting great at it. So it's just hurdles for me right now, and 4x1.
What do you think the key is that has made you very, very good in the hurdles? What have been kind of the key reasons why you've reached this level?
I never really think of it, but it's my Bible verse. Because honestly, there is not really a key. You just need your speed in between the hurdles. So as long as you have that speed, technique doesn't really do much, honestly. So my Bible verse that kept me is Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. That was just push me and motivate me to do well.
I forgot, you were from where?
Jamaica.